Hi, welcome back to Create Your Difference. In the previous video, I gave a short overview of the 5 essential mindsets for success. And these mindsets are 1, set your intention or decide what you want. The second is believe that you can do it. The third is believe you deserve it. The fourth is countering negativity and doubt. And the fifth is persevering despite obstacles. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about that first mindset of setting your intention and deciding what you want. This is critical to all the others because you have to know what you want in order to be able to achieve it. Because if you don't know what you want, then you can't get there, right? That only makes sense. So setting your intention and deciding what you want is what puts you on the path to changing your belief about who you are and what you deserve. And first, you do have to decide what it is that you really want. Now, many people will immediately mentally go to what they think they can have or they cannot have based on what they've been told by others for most of their lives. We'll delve into this in some of the next mindset steps, but for now, I'm asking you to suspend your disbelief. What do I mean by that, you may wonder? Well, it's something we actually do pretty often on a regular basis and don't even realize it. We do this every time we read a book or watch a movie that's not a documentary or a biography, right? So anything that's based in fiction. We suspend our disbelief because we, for the sake of the story, decide that whatever premises are presented are true for that story, right? In that space, in the place that that story is set. And so we want to do this now for the story of our lives. We want to take away the limits on our time, imagination, wealth, and desires. And at the same time, think of things that we absolutely do not want and know that often these are opposites of the things that you do want. So take away all those parameters that you've set for yourself in the past. Suspend your disbelief about what the possibilities are and just delve for a minute into who you really are, who you are in your heart, and what it is you really want out of life, regardless of what you may have been told before. So take away limits on time, take away limits on opportunities, take away limits on possibilities. Just open your mind for a moment and think about if I could do anything, and it didn't matter how much it cost, it didn't matter where in the world I had to be, it didn't matter anything that would be a limit or a parameter. Those things don't matter. What is it that I would really want to do with my life? And when you're thinking about that, you want to be very specific and clear, right? You want to see the thing that you want in your mind. So see the job, see the house, see the family, see the relationships. What is it that you really want for your lifestyle? What is it that you really want out of life? Now, some people are going to choose something very simple. Basically, a close relationship with their spouse or family and the ability to provide for those they love. Some are going to choose something a little bit more sophisticated, we'll say. They're going to choose to be able to travel around the globe and experience all the rich cultures that are out there. Right? Some are going to choose financial success that allows them freedom to go and do and be whatever catches their desire in the moment. Things like being able to donate their time or their resources or even cash, like $100,000 to a new cause or a new relief effort. Some are going to choose to pursue a lifestyle to inspire others in order to get them to focus on their life and their dreams that they want. But whatever it is, it's okay to want that, provided it's not illegal, because we don't want to get into trouble there. But you can pursue whatever you want. The only caution I place here is that it needs to be framed in a positive perspective. So what do I mean by this? What do I mean by coming from a positive perspective? What it means is that you are not considering things out of a place of anger or hurt or victimhood. Positive perspective means I'm choosing it for the joy, the confidence, the competence, the love, and fulfillment the thing will bring to me. I'm not choosing it because of what others have done or what they have done to me, or because my history is not the positive thing I want as a way of exacting revenge, or to really show someone, right, something in particular. Another aspect of deciding what we really want is to suspend the expectations of others as well. Maybe your family or others around you expect you to be or do a certain thing or behave a certain way. But you have to decide, is that what you really want? Or are you pursuing that out of some sense of obligation? And I know this is true for many people that grow up in families where there's an expectation that because mom and dad are lawyers, they're going to go to law school and be lawyers too, or doctors, or nurses, or teachers, or carpenters, or bricklayers, or, whatever it is. Go into politics, right? And the person themselves may really not feel the inclination to that. They're just following along because that's the expectation of their family. But take away those expectations. Again, suspend your disbelief about the possibilities of what your life can be or what you can choose to decide to do with your life. If we pursue something out of feelings of revenge or hatred, hurt, anger, or obligation, it will rarely bring the success or relief from the negativity we're trying to reverse in our lives. So there's no judgment about what you want. Whether it's a house or a car, money in the bank, consistent income, particular kinds of relationships, certain type of job. But it is important that it's framed and sourced by the positive desire for the positive rewards those things will bring to us. So paint yourself a picture. What should the house or the car or the other material possession look like? What will the person look or be like? What will the job or profession or endeavor look like or provide or manifest as? So think about the kind of profession you want to be in, whether it's some sort of craftsman like a carpenter or an architect or a brick mason, whether it's an artist that paints on canvas or does metalwork, or a tattoo artist, or a person who does ceramics or glass blowing, whether it's a person with a recognized profession like lawyer, nurse, or physician, whether it's entrepreneur, it's single business owner, whether it's investor in other businesses, whether it's affiliate marketing or some sort of online business, coaching, teaching, whatever it is, what does that look like to you? What does that life look like to you? So setting clear intentions and defining your desires helps you to stay on the path to the results that you want and to the life you want. So to help you with this, I'm going to share a little bit of my own journey about setting your intention and your desire. When I was young, my parents had a violent and disastrous marriage. It ended in divorce, but I spent 7 years in that marriage, in that house, in that life. And then when that marriage ended, I was placed in an orphanage-style children's home, and I lived another 7 years. In those 14 years, there was a lot of pain and sadness and fear and disappointment, right? But what I did know by the time I was 15 years old is that my life was very different from the lives of the kids that I went to school with who didn't live in the children's home with me. Those families, those children looked like they had perfect families. And I created a vision in my mind of what that family really looked like. And I believed that they had it at that time and that I didn't, but I wanted it. And so I decided that the one thing I was going to have as an adult in my life was a normal family. And so that meant to me a husband who loved me, children I loved, that we both loved, that we raised together to become successful adults. And over the next 15 years, I pursued that family for myself. I had several unsuccessful romantic relationships. I was engaged twice and broke them off both times. I had 2 marriages after that both failed. And by the time I was 30, I was a single mom with 2 kids. So looking at my life in that moment, other people looking at my life from the time I was a child through my teenage and young adult years up until that moment at 30 years old, nobody looking at my life would have said, oh, she's on her way to creating that family she wants, right? Nobody would have thought that. But in my heart, I was still pursuing it. In my decision making, I was still pursuing it. That's part of the reason why those relationships failed, because I realized early into those relationships they weren't going in the right direction. I wasn't achieving what I wanted, and I made decisions to end those relationships in pursuit of the life and the family I wanted. And lo and behold, Within 2 years, I was dating the man who is now my husband. And within 5 years, we were married. So at 35, I started building the life I wanted and the family I wanted with my husband. And guess what? It took me 20 years to get there, but I never gave up. I had set that intention and I pursued it regardless. And so then my son and daughter became his children. His son became my child. And we created a family that was the family I had decided I wanted at 15 years old. I had a husband who loved me. We both loved all of our children together. And lo and behold, over the next 20 years, we were able to successfully raise them to become the wonderful people they are now. We now have 2 granddaughters, and both of our sons are married. Our daughter is living with us and pursuing a career of her own, even in spite of her own disabilities, as an artist, and doing quite well. We're very happy with the life and the family we've created. It is the family I wanted when I was 15 years old. Now, it took 20 years to get it, and it took another 20 years to see the fulfillment. So obviously, just deciding what you want doesn't mean it happens tomorrow. It is something you pursue with commitment and often through repeated failure. So the achievement of the desire involves some other things that we'll talk about in these other videos to follow. But for now, the first thing we need to do is set the intention. Decide what you want. And then you can start doing the other things that are going to help you to get there. By knowing clearly what you want and with specificity what you want, you can achieve the life that you want. For over 20 years, it's now 2022, and we have been living the life and building the family that we wanted. So from the age of 15 forward, up until 30 years, it seemed like I wasn't heading in that direction. It seemed like I wasn't getting there. But within 5 more years, I was directly on the path I needed, and over the next 20 years, did fully fulfill that dream and desire I had set at 15 years old. So I fully intend for this to continue another 50 years, but it was an intention that I set and pursued despite all obstacles, and it took many failed relationships to get there, but I got there. So, have I done everything I want to do now with my life? No, that's just one intention, but I hope that it helps you to see that there is possibility there, that no matter what your life looks like right now at this moment, you can set an intention and a desire for something and achieve it with due diligence. I would like very much to walk with you on your journey, so please like, subscribe, comment below, and watch the next videos for achieving what you want and what you want out of your life. It is time to create your difference.